here with me, Chioma, who's also a filmmaker and producer. You most welcome. Thank you very much. And then let's Chioma, I'll start with you. Let's dig into the numbers, because I know Nigeria is doing big and great things, and I want you to tell them. I don't want it to come from me, because you know what's going on the grounds.
Yes. Wow, I think Nigeria has always been doing great numbers in terms of filmmaking. What is happening now is there's a division. So there are still filmmakers who are making straight-to-video films. There are filmmakers who are making films for television, for Africa Magic, for Rock TV. Those are where you find the numbers. There are filmmakers who are making films for the cinema.
Okay.
And now we have filmmakers making films for the streamers. And that's just English speaking, or there's still the language films. So Nigeria has always had, I think we've been blessed to have like a great audience, and then that has also driven the number of films that we make. But I don't think I can even give a number. I think maybe he can.
You have the numbers, yes.
Because he has to go through them. But even like his office would miss the VOD films and the straight-to-video films and the language films, sometimes. So but Nigeria is probably still producing thousands of films a year.
Okay.
As a government regulator, let me just quickly give a brief of what I do. Even the film business, your first gate in life, or any other business, your first gate in life is to look at the policy. Policy of any country gives you an insight whether you're going to be able to make money or you're not going to be able to make money or get what you're looking for. Fine. So in charge of policy, I head the National Film and Video Censors Board, which is the only regulatory body. So whether your film is local or not, it still has to pass through the agency for approval. Then again, all cinema, you want to start today or you started, you have to pass through the agency as well. And a couple of other issues relating to the film industry. Now, it started with numbers, and I think it's just because I'm a regulator in the government and films must pass through the office.
Yes.
That's why I'll be able to give figures. But in reality, Chioma knows more and better than myself. But I'm going to be looking. Yeah, it's a fact. You be government, but people who are really doing the job are the stakeholders. They're the producer, your actor, your actress, whatever you do within the film ecosystem, you are more knowledgeable than the government. Government sits between 8 o'clock and 4 o'clock. But as stakeholders, you go to the field, you in the mode, you think about script writing, you think about every other thing. So you're more knowledgeable. But the best government worker is to associate himself with the stakeholders so that on a daily basis you get what you need. And my function here is only to be at the back of people like Chioma and every other one who are from Nigeria. So in case they want to sign, they want an understanding, they want a reputation, they can always say, oh, my government is there, and they can always stand for me. So it's giving an enabling environment part of my job. Yeah, when it comes to number, I think I came into the office in 2017. It was a 4-year term, it was a presidential appointment. So 2021, I think, 2020, this is 2022, okay, 2021, I finished my first time, but I was reappointed again. And I think in terms of number, in the last quarter, if I have to call it short, we have 451. A quarter is 4 months, and that represents only the approved, the one we know. And for every business, there's always a back door.
Right.
So it's only the one we know that I can always talk about that pass through the government table for classification. Although you see our name, National Film and Video Censors, but the censor looks draconic, but we're working on the law. But the policy issues and the way we operate now, since I started, is quite different. So this year we have 540, not this year, first quarter, which is 4 months ago, we have 541 films released
Okay.
approved and released by us. Then, in terms of the growth, when I came in 2017 March, cinemas has always been in Nigeria, but the issue is cinema culture died at a particular point in time.
Yes.
So when I came in 2017, it was 18 theatrical cinemas you could find around, but now we have 65.
That's a big improvement. Yeah.
Canal Plus are the biggest theater built in Nigeria. 2 years back, with 300 capacity seating, with open space for musicals, which can take about 5,000 as well, and a couple of other editing outfits there. So cinema keeps growing. In 2019, we got, I'm sure everybody here knows what CinemaCom is. CinemaCom,
Yeah.
that's the largest
Yeah.
gathering of the cinema movement in the world.
Yeah.
We were rated the second.
In Las Vegas.
Yes, in Las Vegas,
Yeah.
after Hollywood. And we had a short disruption, which caused by COVID. And
Right.
after that, we're still holding it high. A couple of what's it called? Investors and stakeholders are all hanging around. People were looking for them. So it's like Nigeria is really in Africa. It's not bad. It's not pride, but the point is, for any market, for you to see a market, you have to look at the number.
Exactly.
Looking at statistics, we're over 200 million.
Yes.
And if you look at breaking down the statistics, you see the growth of cinema around the world, the growth of movie around the world, the weapon cinemas, films holds gives them a better opportunity of what? Of getting a lot of market. So we're second-rated markets now because under normal circumstances, film, video, cinemas generally is the highest employer of labor in the world.
Yeah.
Because the multiplier effect, a single film where you look at the credit and cast and crew, you see the multiplier effect of it. So
Right.
No matter what you talk about, either oil or farming or whatsoever, it's not even now that farming is becoming mechanized. That means reducing the labor
Exactly.
to
For production.
inventions and technology. So you see, film generally in the world is the highest employer of labor, just like Nigeria as well. So I think for investors, that's what we're here to do. For investors, I think it's okay for them to look into that direction because none has gone into. Well, don't let me say much about that because Chioma is here. They're the one who makes money. We're the one who makes policy.
Thank you very much, Alhaji. Is that the case?
Oh, we hope so.
you making the money. All right, so I mean, we're looking at Nigeria being, we're talking about the second largest market because as a Ghanaian, growing up, the closest thing that I could watch apart from local produced content was from Nigeria. And when the Nigeria film industry started, taking over the industry, a lot of us were like, hey, what is happening? What is going on? Is this going to work? Then the bootleg part comes in because that's the word we were trying to avoid, but I have to use it. Because the bootleggers, you are recording 541. They are recording probably 5,000 on a daily. And obviously those are numbers that we cannot account for. We cannot really account for those numbers. But my thing is, what's next? Where are we going with all this attention? We are trying to make money for a population of over 200 million people. Netflix is in Nigeria right now. Amazon, I understand, is in Nigeria right now. I'm sure the rest are also forcing or fighting their way to get in the market. So what's next for us?
So I studied economics, and leaving economics and going into film, that was always what my father said. How are you going to make money? it has to make sense.
Yes.
And so far, to be fair, the it's really grown in leaps and bounds. Like, Wedding Party is, in terms of years, it's maybe like 5-6 years ago. So the growth of the film industry, especially going into cinema, is literally 10-12 years. You know. But beyond that, I think for film and as an industry, we have to start thinking beyond projects. Because what happens is we're thinking about making one film, and then that one film takes 2 years, and then you're trying to now make the money back, or we move a lot faster in Nigeria, so one film can take 6 months to be fair. but just thinking about it in terms of projects and films is not how we build an industry. So I think an industry transcends beyond that, and that's for me is what next. What next is how can we start to build? We have the numbers, we have a huge tech industry. So can we have a competitive advantage in animation? Can we build? We have young people. We have that have. So like what tech did with Andela, for instance, can we start to do that with post-production, with animation, with things like that, even like a subtitle farm, a VFX farm, where we can start to think about is like, as an industry, as Nigeria, what can we offer the world, and how can we sell those skills? Because we can only make, a film, you make 10 films, maybe one is profitable, but you have a business that you're outsourcing skills, that you're outsourcing, capital, human capital, then you were able to really utilize the force that is Nigeria, and that's our young people, and that's that's what we have. Like he said, the film industry is a huge employer of labor. And so, but we're not building below the line skills. We don't have, maybe there are 2 or 5 ADs that are like top of the line, world class. Maybe 2, maybe there are 3 sound guys. So on every production, people are looking for the same people. Like who is, there's one sound person that, you have to wait for Ebony Life to finish shooting.
Before it comes to you.
Before it comes to you. So, but how can we utilize that? How can we build businesses for the industry? And I think the best example so far is the music video industry. Because they're the ones, to be fair, that has built out the cinematographers. They have built out the editors. But because they've been able to like get funding from making music videos to kind of churn out those numbers. So I think is that really about capacity building, about building out the skill set, and not just, but thinking about it as a business, and how we can start to think about the industry and providing services for film, whether it's the Nigerian film, whether it's an international film. South Africa does that very well, but they have a location that we don't have, and they have infrastructure that we don't. So but we have human capital. So I think it's that for me is the next step. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Alhaji, next step. She has said it all, but then, and she's right, because in creativity, for every perception of human being is right. Where you are seeing a particular thing comes from, your perception about it comes from the angle at which you're saying it. She's seeing it from that side as a business, but I'm seeing it again as a business, as a policy person. In as much as a lot of things are developing, evolving, I think we should not be carried away. It's an advantage. Animation, building up, editing studios and some other things is a hard advantage. We must always tailor ourselves towards that. But then we must not, at every given point in time, deviate from where we have the priority, and that is content. You see, so far so good. What makes the market, what makes us the largest is because the content. The largest, at least in Africa, the second in the world, is the content. So we need to probably develop ourselves using what she has said in terms of technology to educate and expand our horizon in terms of, the content we have. So it becomes a specialization. Like when we're in school, my first degree was theater, art, and film, but then don't ever call Adedayo to get close to the stage and fix, even to plug a wire. It's a problem for me. So it's technical theater. So I just specialize in dramatic criticisms and films and whatsoever. So I think for South Africa, if we start running the race, we're not going to run the race of South Africa in terms of infrastructure and development.
Right.
We can only try as much as possible to go along with them in terms of technology in Africa.
Right.
They as well are coming up. Ghanaians are equally coming up. If Ghanaians are not tapped into Nigeria to discover their own priority, which again is content.
Right.
They wouldn't have grown at that level, because I know Ghana has grown.
Right.
So you see, if we look at all those space and you think we must be like Europe today, no, we have special things far better than Europe and America and Canada.
Right.
So the specialization should come in. And that is where you see the issue of, when you started, you said Netflix, you know they're in Nigeria. Amazon is coming, although they're coming, but we're waiting. What are they coming from? It's because we've been able to build up and emphasize the fact that we are the owner of the content. So bringing all other things into bear, which we need to develop bit all around. Right. I'll still say there's a lot for us to do and hold on to what we have before it's being probably hijacked, and that is the content. And the content again brings us back to what? You see, the film itself, it could be for player, it could be for business, for other people. But then we have one advantage in Africa. It's equally a sector that assists us in the moral and cultural bringing of our children. So you could see we have a lot of advantages in your film in Nigeria. So basically, and that comes from what? From the content, because we naturally have it. Every African can tell stories, even when we're speaking.
Right.
The three of us.
Yeah.
We're already acting films.
Yeah.
So it's natural with us. Yeah. And it takes a long thing to the outside world. So I still believe our content should be area of focus so that we don't lose it. And it has several dimensions. Somebody wants to just bring his content. If a young guy wants to bring his content and quickly put it on YouTube for free, it's almost selling the intellectual property. Yeah. Not even selling, giving it out for free. And you see, YouTube makes money out of it, Google makes money out of it. Yeah. And these are the most pronounced area that we should emphasize, that the moral thing is, even if you're working, if you're not making it now, if you protect your intellectual property right, your children, because in Africa we believe in inheritance. Inheritance, yes. The people, you know. So we need to do a lot in terms of our content. Even TikTok, they were in my office about 2 months ago to meet me and collaborate. And you see what's really going on. If you look at the population in Africa and the way we use the gadget, it's like we're using more than other continents. Yeah. And what does that speak? So we're using that, we're making money for somebody. Yes. Till later, I'm not a MasterCard person. I'm still my normal African person. I want to go anywhere, I carry my cash. Because under normal circumstances, you are forcing me to adopt. It could be easier for you, I don't care. Or it's been easier for our forefathers as well. I want to carry my money, pay for my things, and get out of it. Why? Because normally 2 cents you drop with MasterCard, who I don't know the owner, it becomes a problem. So the content in Africa should be well guided and people should be taught, because like I said, a secondary school, a child will create a skit and something like that and it just straight away. And this thing is within us. So
but Alhaji, not to catch you, let me have that. Not to catch you, but as a regulatory body, right? As a regulatory body, how do we protect our content? How do we protect our content? Because you said we're putting content out there free on TikTok, on IG, like the boys.
Incredible boys.
The incredible boys, you know, incredible. You know, we love them. Bubu from Senegal is putting his content on IG. You know, look at the amazing things he is doing. You know, but then how much of that is coming back to him? No, I think we're more fascinated about the exposure and how we will trend, because we are quick, you know, to embrace that and be more excited about that than thinking about how we are protecting our content.
Yeah. You see, in Africa, I think one of the things. Let me give you an hint of this. Regulators in Africa are in committee now, taking some drastic steps about harmonization of content and some other issues. One of it is assessing, you know, having to make streamers understand that even if you don't have an office in that country, what you are doing is like an import and export. So that we now start discussing with them and say, no, if you put your thing on Google, if we don't have an office in Nigeria or Ghana or whatsoever,
right,
the product is from that country.
Right.
So you are committed to do some certain developmental thing, and of course, engage ourselves in serious education, enlightenment, that what you are throwing out there. And I tell them, I give them example of my classmates. His name is Alhaji Adedayo. I'll put it into 3 shortly. Everybody knows about Sound City, Nigeria.
Yeah.
And outside Nigeria. Everybody knows about, that's one side.
Yeah.
Then most film lovers of Nollywood knows, what is it called? Century. Myself, Tajuddin, Century, were classmates.
Oh, okay.
So you can imagine Century on the screen. But among the 3 of us, there is a name that you don't see. Who is that person? Tajuddin Adedayo, and his mom everywhere. So the fact that people are chunking out things, we should be able to tell them that this could make you poorer. There are 2 things in life. You either pick plus or negative.
Right.
When you want to be popular on the screen, you have your script, you just throw it out free. You're losing your intellectual right. And the economy, you are no longer there. But you either become popular through that, or you hold on to your IP and become wealthier. So those are the kind of things we need to do. We need to emphasize more, not on the technological side of it, but educating and, you know, enlightening the people of skills you throw out, things you do this way, things you do that way. But policies are guided. And it's not, you said as a regulator, what do we do?
Right.
It's not, I'll go back to the African parents that says, a child is being grown, not by the parents alone, but by the entire community. No. It's not that everybody contributed money.
Right.
But it's the fact that when the child is going to school one day and is doing something that is wrong, there is a parent somewhere saying, oh, stop it. Don't do it, or I report it to the parent. That's the contribution of that person in that society. So it's not about government alone, but about all of us to be able to reach out to people and tell them this is what they need to do about their skills, their rights, their creative energy, so that they can be economically sound.
Okay. Thank you very much, Alhaji. Chioma, your last words before we wrap up?
I think I want to thank Prudence and thank you for being here, and also thank Alhaji. I think it's important that the government is enabling filmmakers. It's important that we're able to tell the stories that we want to tell. And it's important that we're in spaces like this to be able to foster collaboration and to also kind of make ourselves better as filmmakers and to build relationships. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Chioma and Alhaji.
Thank you.
Thank you.